fingers sifted through soft, cool cotton sheets, the sensation like touching cloud puffs, as Ilara lay nestled in her bed. The familiar shapes of her nightstand loomed beside her, the wooden lamp base smooth and cool against her fingertips, a half-empty glass of water refracting the pale moonlight in delicate ripples. Pushing aside her blankets, a gentle frown knitted her brows as her hand swept over the surface. Missing was the comforting weight of her worn river stone. A wash of unease stirred within her, not panic, but a gentle curiosity that made her heart flutter like the wings of a captured moth. This simple grey oval, rendered smooth by countless years of water, was her anchor, her small touch of the tranquil world. In that instant, she resolved to find it, her breath a slow, calming ritual as she prepared to explore her shadowed sanctuary. As she swung her legs over the edge of the bed, the cool floorboards beneath her feet sent a shiver up her spine, urging her to hasten her search. The comforting glow from the small lamp pooled like liquid gold, illuminating remnants of her favorite books lining the shelves, the spines worn from years of love. She leaned forward slightly, her small hands now splayed against the flat surface, searching the depths of shadows that lingered beneath the nightstand. Where could it have gone? Her heart thudded rhythmically against her ribs, every soft creak of the house echoing in the quiet. With each passing moment, the stillness seemed to draw nearer, compacting the space around her. Yet, something about the calmness, woven with hints of anxiety, fueled her determination. She would not rest until she found that piece of serenity that had slipped away in the night. Ilara crawled down on her hands and knees, fingers brushing against cool wood and an array of forgotten trinkets. The dim light painted the edges of her flannel pajamas, soft blue fabric cascading around her, making her appear like a small cloud drifting across the room. With a gentle push, she disturbed a dust bunny that scurried away into the edges of her peripheral vision, triggering a delightful laugh that softened her earlier worries. The familiar textures beneath her hands grounded her. They reminded her of the world outside her door, a world where the river flowed endlessly. Growing more comfortable with the stillness, she turned her gaze, searching corners already familiar, her heart beginning to settle with hope. As her fingertips brushed a small warmth beneath the old carpet, a thrill of excitement surged through her. Had she found it? Ilara slips out of bed, her bare feet making almost no sound on the warm, woven fibers of the circular rug beside her bed. The moonlight, filtered through a sheer white curtain, paints soft silver rectangles across the polished wooden floor. She pauses, the silence of the night wrapping around her like a cozy blanket, her heart gently drumming with anticipation. A soft flutter of thought introduces the possibility that the little stone she cherishes might have simply rolled off the nightstand. Kneeling, the flannel of her pajamas cool against her skin, she brings her gaze low, peering into the deep shadows beneath the small table. Her eyes slowly adjust, discern shapes slowly. The sturdy table legs stand like dark sentinels, while a forgotten slipper lies half-hidden in dust. A few motes dance across a stray moonbeam, but the stone is absent, dissipating the initial joy as worry sneaks in like a whispering breeze. Gathering her thoughts, Ilara shifts her weight, flannel brushing against the polished floor as she leans further into the shadows. Every inhale fills her nose with the familiar scent of aged wood, a whisper of the countless dreams held within these walls. With delicate fingers, she sweeps them forward, moving small dust particles, her breath gentle, creating a soft rhythm against the stillness of the night. Time feels suspended, each tick of the clock around the corner punctuating her search, reminding her of a world beyond her solitude. Yet, here in this cocoon of quietude, she finds solace in the absence of noise. Her mind flits back to the stone, memories drifting like the wisps of cloud outside, its small weight a comfort in her palm, now just a part of the night's tapestry. The fleeting worry dissipates as Ilara gently pulls back, retreating from the table's edge with a sigh, a small smile flickering across her face. Deciding to stand, her bare feet find traction on the cool wooden floor, and she stretches her arms high above her head, a small yawn escaping her lips. The night is still vibrant, the moon casting her silhouette in muted brightness. She glances around the room, searching every corner anew, heart racing with the thrill of discovery. Laughter bubbles up at the thought of imagining the stone's journey, lost in the crannies of her mind's eye. In that moment of stillness, where shadows and light dance for her alone, she embraces the magic of possibilities, ready to let adventure lead her wherever it wishes to go, even into the recesses beneath her bed. Fingers brushing the cool wooden edge of the tall, narrow bookshelf, she steps closer, drawn to its labyrinth of stories. The dim light hangs low, spilling soft golden hues upon the spines, transforming them into a patchwork of muted colors. Among them, she recalls the weight of a book she had considered earlier, perhaps a tale steeped in adventure or whispered secrets. As her delicate hand glides along the second shelf at her eye level, she senses the lightly raised letters embossed on the cover of a familiar book. Its aged cardboard gives slightly under her touch, exuding the slightly dusty, papery scent of the countless stories held within. This fragrance wraps around her like a warm blanket, igniting memories of quiet afternoons spent immersed in their worlds. The books seem to observe her with a calm stillness, patient and crisp, as her gentle quest continues. She pauses, the muted color mosaic of the shelf enchanting her, a rainbow crafted from stories waiting to be unfurled. With a soft sigh, she kneels on the wooden floor, her pale blue flannel pajamas a gentle contrast against its deep, worn grain. Each breath draws in the comforting scent of aging paper and ink, a reminder of the journeys locked between the covers. She tilts her head slightly, gazing into the space between the books, searching for the stone that had become a part of her yesterday. Her fingertips linger over the spines, feeling the remnants of time, the slight ridges and ripples in the paper, inviting her to pause and lose herself yet again. The faint hum of silence fills the air, as if time itself has slowed, and she finds solace in the quiet intimacy of this moment, her small figure a perfect silhouette against the literary treasure trove. With each passing moment directed by instinct, she pushes deeper into the bookshelf's embrace, her small hand reaching behind a row of stories that stand shoulder to shoulder. This hidden space offers an unexpected warmth, a sanctuary that shields her from the world outside. The sound of her own breathing is a quiet lullaby, almost musical among the whispers of the books. She feels the rough texture of the cardboard-covered volumes brush against her skin as she leans in closer. Disappointment doesn't rise as she uncovers only dust motes and echoes of tales long forgotten. Instead, a determined smile teases the corners of her lips. This journey, woven with touch and smell, enriches her connection to the stories waiting to be discovered. Her heart flutters with the idea of possibility, each search swelling with quiet hope for the next adventurous chapter in her life. Elara pads across the cool wooden floor, the sound of her bare feet whispering against the surface. Each step resonates softly, as if the floor itself is holding its breath. She navigates through the gentle haze of afternoon light that pours through the wide window, casting long shadows and illuminating the dust motes dancing in the warm air. Arriving at the window seat, she feels the plump cushion yield under her weight, inviting her into its embrace. The scent of lavender from the sachet tucked in the corner wafts gently toward her, mingling with the damp earthiness of the rain-soaked garden outside. The broad pane of glass cools her fingertips as she lightly traces the outline of water droplets sliding down the surface, creating a world beyond that shimmers in silver and deep, velvety shadows. With a careful touch, Elara begins lifting the cushions, one by one, feeling the give of the soft filling envelop her small hands as she pats them back into place. The texture of the linen covers slips beneath her fingertips, cool and slightly textured, grounding her in this ritual. Outside, the rain is a gentle percussion against the glass, a rhythmic reminder that the world is alive beyond her cocoon. She glances out at the old oak tree, its leaves whispering secrets in a belle-île breeze, soothing her thoughts as she repositions another pillow. Each action nurtures the quiet bubble she has nestled into, anchoring her to her thoughts while the air is filled with the faint aroma of lavender, a comforting presence even through her restless searching for the lost stone that once brought her joy. As she sinks into the cushions, Elara exhales gently, her heart cradled within the embrace of the cozy alcove. The rain paints a hazy picture outside, the garden's colors muted yet rich, and she allows herself to drift. Her fingers weave into the fabric of the nearest cushion, her skin drinking in its warmth as she gazes out, lost in thought. The old oak stands firm against the gray sky, a silent guardian of her imagination. Elara's mind wanders through memories and dreams, flitting like the raindrops racing down the glass. In this stillness, she feels the absence of her treasured stone, a reminder of past adventures, and yet the serenity of this moment blankets her with comfort, urging her to simply be. Her fingers trace the soft material of the window seat as she sinks into its embrace, the cushion yielding gently beneath her weight. Outside, the night blankets the world in its deep indigo hues, star clusters glimmering like scattered diamonds on velvet. Elara presses her cheek against the cool glass, her breath fogging tiny circles that disappear as she watches the stars flicker and pulse, each a distant beacon shining through the shadows. A breeze stirs, carrying the faint rustle of leaves and a whisper of night's chill, prompting her to pull her knees closer to her chest, enveloped in the warmth of her pale blue flannel pajamas. It's a moment of stillness where time seems suspended. Here, she lets herself simply be, not reaching for thoughts but observing them as they flutter by, like delicate fireflies in the vast darkness of her mind. Thoughts flit through her mind like the fireflies she imagines, the stone she is searching for, a small feeling of urgency mingled with excitement. A snatch of a lilting melody from earlier today drifts through her consciousness, its notes weaving a tapestry of warmth. Her friend's laughter dances on the edges of her memory, stirring a sweet pang of fondness. Yet, in that moment, Ilara doesn't chase those thoughts like she once might have. Instead, she watches this mental parade with quiet curiosity, allowing each one to rise and fall without attachment. She releases her grip on them, feeling lighter as she leans back slightly, the familiar fabric of the window seat cradling her. The stars, indifferent and twinkling, reflect the ebb and flow of her thoughts, just as she learns to let them drift, untroubled. The stillness settles deeper, enfolding Ilara in a cocoon of tranquility. She allows herself to visualize each thought fluttering away, gently blinking out like the fireflies she conjures in her imagination. Each spark of worry or nostalgia is like a wisp of smoke disappearing into the ether, giving way to an expansive quiet that calms her heart. Her eyelids grow heavy, weighed down not with fatigue but with a profound sense of peace, one that warms her from within, more enriching than any treasure. With a soft sigh, she curls her toes into the plush fabric of her pajama pants, the cotton fibers a comforting reminder of home. In this moment, beneath the expanse of the starlit sky, she embraces solitude, untethered and content, ready to let the night cradle her thoughts in its infinite embrace. Moonlight poured through the window, casting a silvery glow that danced softly on the floorboards. The night was hushed, interrupted only by the occasional rustle of leaves beyond the glass. The young girl, in her pale blue flannel pajamas, stood quietly, eyelids fluttering as she absorbed the tranquility around her. Her dark hair, tousled from sleep, swayed gently as she leaned forward, her fingers poised delicately over the cool, wooden sill. The air was fragrant with the earthy aroma of soil and plants. The succulents, robust and vibrant in their pots, drew her gaze like stars in the night sky. Her moment of stillness allowed a slow exhalation, her breath mingling with the peaceful aura, as paintings of light flickered across her serene face. Her eyes zeroed in on a jade plant, its thick leaves glistening under the moon's caress. Nestled among the broad leaves was her stone, a small piece of the universe turned smooth and gray, catching the light in a way that made it seem to pulse softly. It sat there like a forgotten treasure, radiating a quiet serenity that matched her thoughts. She reached out, fingertips brushing the chilled surface of the stone, feeling its weight in the palm of her hand. A smile unwound on her lips, slow and genuine, as she realized this small geological moon was not lost, but resting perfectly in a realm of beauty. The world beyond faded softly, leaving her cocooned in this miniature forest of succulents, where simple treasures nestled among the living foliage reminded her of the magic of stillness. Kneeling now, she cradled the stone gently, eyes wide as she gazed into its smooth, lustrous surface. The moment felt eternal, as though time slowed to allow her a final breath of connection to the world around her. The coolness of the stone contrasted with the warm flush of contentment blossoming in her chest. With a soft sigh, she stood, the stone secure in her grasp like a secret captured between her fingers. Glancing back at the jade plant's serene presence, she understood that finding her stone had been about quieting the chaos within, allowing her heart to guide her. The search had melted away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of gratitude for this small victory in the peaceful night, confirming that sometimes stillness uncovers more than frantic seeking ever could. Ilara closes her fingers around the stone, its smooth surface cool against her palm. The world around her fades as she cradles it, weighty and reassuring, a grounding presence amidst the chaos of her thoughts. She feels the slight chill seep into her skin, a contrast to the warmth of her flannel pajamas. Instantly, she is swept away to a sunlit afternoon, the shimmering reflection of the river dancing just beyond the tall reeds. The soft murmur of water swirling over rocks fills her ears, a gentle whisper of nostalgia. Her grandfather's encouraging voice echoes in her memory, guiding her eyes towards the stone nestled among the riverbank's pebbles. Time slows, each heartbeat synchronizing with the harmonic rhythm of nature that enveloped them that day, wrapping her in familiarity and love. She can almost feel her grandfather's hand around her own, the softness of his grip anchoring her to the moment. Ilara turns the stone in her palm, feeling its edges and grooves. Her fingers trace the symbols of history and memory etched into its surface. Each contour is a story, a reminder of both playful days and wise lessons. Her heart swells with warmth as thoughts of laughter and simplicity flood her mind. The carefree joy of chasing butterflies made time feel endless. The sound of rustling leaves reminds her of their shared secrets, the way they breathed in the world together, an unspoken bond that spoke louder than words. With the stone secure in her grasp, a sense of calm washes over her, filling the spaces of doubt with stillness and hope for tomorrow. The river's music plays on, each note replicating the peace the stone brings her. Ilara lets out a soft sigh, a fragile whisper of happiness, as the memory swirls vividly around her, an emotional tapestry woven from the threads of her past. She understands now that the stone is not merely an object, it is a keeper of her innocence, a talisman of joyful moments and embraced warmth. Holding it closer, she closes her eyes, envisioning her grandfather kneeling beside her on the riverbank, his gentle laughter mingling with the flowing water. With each breath, she draws in his spirit, the blend of sunlight, laughter, and love creating a cocoon of safety. She emerges from the reverie, eyes alight with understanding, realizing that even in solitude she carries the essence of their togetherness within her, strengthened by this simple stone. Walking across the room, her small fingers cradled the smooth stone, feeling its coolness contrast against her warmth. The floorboards creaked softly underfoot, following the rhythm of her heartbeat as the dim light from a bedside lamp cast a gentle glow, pooling like liquid gold on the worn carpet. Each step felt more meaningful now, each one echoing softly within the serene confines of her space. She approached her bed, the sheets slightly rumpled and inviting, whispering secrets of comfort and tranquility. With a careful tug, she pulled back the covers, the cotton fabric rustling softly, a soothing sound that wrapped around her like a familiar embrace. In this small moment, she felt a connection to everything around her, a harmony that dispelled the shadows lingering in her mind. She climbed back into the bed, the sheets folding around her as she nestled into the warm cocoon of her blankets. The stone, once a curious artifact from her afternoon adventures, found a home beside her, resting in the cradle of her palm, where the soft fabric of the mattress met her fingers. Its steady coolness pulsed gently against her skin, grounding her as a wave of calm washed over her. The muffled sound of her breathing broke the silence, slow and rhythmic, as she let the weight of the day fade away into the embrace of night. The faint rustle of the sheets punctuated the quiet, a reminder that she was here, whole and complete. Every wrinkle of the fabric under her created an intimate landscape, familiar and safe, inviting her to rest. Hands gently opening, she positioned the stone beside her rather than placing it on the nightstand. In the soft nest of her mattress, it lay like a cherished secret, a small and unyielding presence amidst the softness of pillows and blankets. She traced its edges with her fingers, feeling its shape and weight, each smooth contour a reminder of her recent adventures. The mild unease that had briefly fluttered in her heart melted away completely, replaced by a deep-rooted sense of rightness and peace. The room felt harmonious now, with each object in its rightful place, books stacked neatly, clothes folded with care. With her gaze fixed on the stone, she let her eyelids flutter shut, allowing the gentle rhythm of her breath to fill the silent space, welcoming a tranquil sleep. The weight of her head feels both heavy and soothing against the plush pillow, as the cool moonlight spills through the window, casting silvery patterns across the pale blue of her flannel pajamas. She curls her fingers around the smooth, cool stone cradled in her palm, its solid presence grounding her in the tranquil ache of the moment. With each rise and fall of her chest, the shadows dance playfully alongside the furniture, the room blending into a whisper-soft canvas where the edges are blurred and soft. Her gentle breaths create a quiet rhythm, synchronizing with the distant chirps of crickets outside, as her mind surrenders to the beckoning comfort of slumber. Thoughts drift lazily through her mind, untethered like clouds meandering across a summer sky, bathed in the gentle glow of the moonlit night, requiring no action or concern from her. Sinking deeper into the embrace of her mattress, each exhale feeds the muffled comfort around her. The air is cool against her cheeks, whispering soft stories of the night that blend seamlessly into her dreams. Wrapped in the quilt of silence, she shifts slightly, letting the fabric of her pajamas slide against her skin, the softness amplifying her sense of calm. The blurred outlines of her stuffed animals loom just beyond the edge of her sight, guardians of her slumber, as the world outside fades into a distant murmur. The boundary between her waking thoughts and the realm of sleep becomes a tender veil, thin and gossamer, as the rhythmic sound of her breathing draws her further from reality. In this dreamlike state, Her little heart beats slowly, matching the serenity that envelops her, each pulse harmonizing with the soft sighs of the night. In the peaceful cocoon of her night, she can almost taste the stillness surrounding her, as dreams begin to flicker at the edges of her consciousness like distant stars on the horizon. The gentle rise and fall of her chest becomes a lullaby in itself, coaxing her deeper under the silky weight of her blankets, inviting her to surrender to the depths of her imagination. The stone in her palm feels as if it is melting into warmth, a treasured secret nestled in the folds of her dreams. Each breath is laced with the scent of nighttime, the coolness of earth, the faintest hint of blooming flowers in the air. With each slow blink, her eyes grow heavier, the moonlight pooling softly, wrapping her in a tender glow that feels like a warm hug. Safe in her haven, she drifts into the vast, unfathomable ocean of sleep, where stories form and dissolve seamlessly around her. The cool surface of the river stone presses into Ilara's palm, anchoring her to the bed as her eyelids grow heavy. Silvery moonlight spills across the dark wooden floor, pooling like soft liquid over the edges of the pale blue rug. Soft creaks from the house punctuate the stillness, a gentle conversation between the old timbers and the cool night air. Ilara's fingers curl slightly around the stone, its weight a peculiar comfort amidst the quiet. The faint hum of the refrigerator wafts from downstairs, blending harmoniously with the rustling leaves outside, creating a lullaby for the weary home. With each gentle breath, her chest rises and falls under the thin fabric of her flannel pajamas, the world around her fading into an embrace of peace, where the boundaries of her body blur into the surroundings. Ilara melts deeper into the nocturnal embrace, feeling the soft fibers of her flannel pajamas against her skin, the coolness of the night contrasting with the warmth of her tucked-in body. Shadows dance slowly across the walls, flickering softly as the moon journeys across the sky. The serene sounds of the house cradle her senses, the creak of wood settling melds with the distant lull of the refrigerator's hum. In this enveloping cocoon, her chest rises and falls in a slow rhythm, akin to the gentle lap of waves upon a quiet shore. Ilara's thoughts, once swirling like autumn leaves in the wind, begin to align, falling still as she invites dreams to drift towards her, whispering promises of adventures yet to unfold, each breath weaving her deeper into an ocean of tranquility. Drifting further, Ilara finds herself buoyed by the soothing tide of sleep, her grip on the river stone loosening as if yielding to the gentle waves of her imagination. With every passing moment, the world recedes, replaced by a serene expanse of vibrant dreams tinted with the hues of the moonlight spilling through the window. While her small body nestles into the soft comfort of her blankets, she breathes in the faint scent of wood polish and the lingering warmth of the day. The calm reminds her of the endless horizons of fantasy, where the edges of reality soften, and the magical beckons her beneath the stars. The stone, a silent sentinel of her slumber, settles against her palm as whispers of adventure call to her, entwining her thoughts in a rich tapestry of her imagination.